Many wine drinkers have never heard of Pinot Bianco, yet many consider Alto Adige one of the best places on earth to grow it. Today, we are going to find out why by tasting Cantina Girlan's Flora Pinot Bianco Riserva 2021. But before we get to that, where is Girlan exactly? The story begins not in Valisarco, but in the southern part of Alto Adige. The village of Girlan, or Cornaiano in Italian, sits in the Alto Adige area, southwest of Bolzano. Alto Adige probably gets its name from the point of observation from Bolzano, meaning that one over the Adige. Unlike Valisarco's dramatic mountain valley landscape, Girlan lies on rolling hills between roughly 450 and 550 meters above sea level. This area has been connected to wine for centuries. The village itself developed around viticulture, and beneath it lies a network of historic cellars carved into the hillside. Today, this zone is considered one of Alto Adige's most important white wine territories. But geography alone does not explain why the wines from this area have earned such a strong reputation. Talking about Pinot Bianco, it's the only major white grape in Alto Adige grown in roughly the same area today as it was in the 1980s. Pinot Bianco thrives in Alto Adige for the same reason that Chardonnay thrives in Burgundy. It needs balance, not too hot, not too cold, not too fertile, not too dry. The eastern side of this subzone contributes structure and longevity. The western side contributes freshness and flavor intensity. Warm daytime temperatures ensure ripeness. Cool mountain nights preserve acidity. This combination is one of the defining features of Alto Adige, and one reason the region has become internationally recognized for white wines. Yet great vineyards are only part of the story. The people who cultivate them matter just as much. Instead of monks preserving wine culture, you have growers working together. Cantina Girlan was founded in 1923 when a small group of local growers decided to form a cooperative and vinify their grapes collectively. Today, roughly 200 wine-growing families farm around 230 hectares through the cooperative. This is important because many wine drinkers assume cooperatives produce inexpensive bulk wine. In Alto Adige, the opposite often happens. Instead of every farmer owning expensive equipment, expertise and resources could be concentrated in a single winery. The result was better vineyard management, better winemaking, and more consistency. This cooperative model helped transform Alto Adige during the 20th century and is one of the reasons the region now enjoys such a strong reputation. And few cooperatives illustrate that evolution better than Cantina Girlan itself. After its foundation in 1923, it evolved into one of Alto Adige's most respected cooperatives over the following century. What makes Girlan interesting isn't merely its age, it's its obsession with terroir. Over time, the winery increasingly focused on identifying vineyard sites capable of producing exceptional wines rather than simply producing large volumes. Today, the cooperative works with vineyards spread throughout some of Alto Adige's best growing areas. Grapes are harvested and vinified according to parcel, allowing individual sites to express themselves more clearly. That focus on terroir eventually led Girlan toward one grape in particular. But why Pinot Bianco? First of all, Pinot Bianco loves cool climates. Second, it benefits enormously from large day-night temperature swings. Third, it reflects site differences exceptionally well. In warmer regions, it can become simple. In Alto Adige, it gains freshness, precision, minerality, and aging potential. Unlike Chardonnay, for example, Pinot Bianco rarely relies on power or richness. Its appeal comes from elegance, balance, and detail. It is a grape that rewards attention rather than demanding it. The grape is also somewhat misunderstood. It's rarely as aromatic as Sauvignon Blanc, it lacks the obvious perfume of Gewürztraminer, and it doesn't have Riesling's dramatic acidity. Instead, Pinot Bianco is about nuance. This is why so many adore it. It rewards attention. Community discussions among wine enthusiasts frequently describe Alto Adige Pinot Bianco as unusually mineral, age-worthy, and expressive compared with examples from many other regions. And all of those factors come together in the bottle we're going to be tasting today. Alright, well now to the most exciting part of the video, which is actually tasting this wine. And Cantina Girlan is one of my favorite wineries, not just in Alto Adige, but in Italy, and probably in the world so far. And in this case, we're going to be trying their Flora Pinot Bianco Riserva 2021. And a really cool thing about their Flora line is the reason it's called that is because they commissioned a man named Paul Flora to create the designs for their labels. And so you can see here, it's a very cute, very interesting drawing that they made for this label. And talking about the wine, so already served it, and we can see here the wonderful color, a slight sort of pale yellow, a little bit of a green hue that we see there. I would recommend serving this wine at around 10 degrees Celsius. I'm talking about the notes that we get. Sort of ripe apple and pear. A little bit of almond and hazelnut as well, chamomile. Pineapple, I'm getting. So, compared to other white grapes, yeah, a lot of people drink Chardonnay, Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, but even Pinot Grigio, but Pinot Bianco, I feel like doesn't get the recognition that it deserves and doesn't get a lot of attention. But it should, sure. It's a grape that requires a lot of attention, as I just mentioned in the beginning of the video. It can be a little bit difficult to work and to get the best expression out of it. But if you do, and if you plant this grape and have the vineyards in the right place, it is absolutely stunning. And Cantina Girlan, since 1923, they are one of the cooperatives that are really focused on terroir-driven wine. They want to find the right plot of land, the right parcel, to bring out the best expression of every grape that they manage. And the soil where these vineyards are and where this Pinot Bianco grapes are grown are clay and limestone rich, which are going to help give that minerality, acidity, and that sort of oomph to this wine, while also keeping it very elegant. Now, talking about pairings, in this case I have a fun pairing. We're going to go a more traditional Italian route. So something that is very common in Italy as an antipasto or as a starter is prosciutto with melone, or prosciutto with melon. And sure, you can have this wine with just prosciutto and it'll work great. But pairing it with melon is just going to bring it over the top for me. With prosciutto, the reason why it works is because of that saltiness and that little bit of umami, that fat that it has. It's going to coat the tongue and it's going to make you want something refreshing. And Pinot Bianco brings that, but in a very light, elegant way. And something particular about this prosciutto is it's San Daniele, which is a lighter prosciutto than others compared to like Parma, for example, because you don't want the prosciutto to overpower the wine. We're talking about a grape that, as I mentioned, is quite delicate. So you want also to pair it with something delicate. If you don't want this type of pairing, you can also go with seafood, and it works really well with sea bass and shrimp. So we're going to be trying a little bit of this prosciutto and melone and see how it goes. So we have my my piece here. Buon appetito. So this really brings out and accentuates those fruit notes. A little bit of stone fruit as well, like white peach. Got a little bit more of that ripe apple as well. So it's really nice. The wine is really smooth, even though it's 14.5% in terms of alcohol content, but you don't feel it at all. Another pairing that I have that's really fun. So right now I'm living in Mexico City, and something that is very common in Mexico City, even as a snack, is pork rind. And it's not the same as buying pork rind in the supermarket, like in a bag, like a bag of chips or something. This is completely fresh, no additives, no added salt. And so again, for the same reasons that the prosciutto works with the Pinot Bianco, in terms of the saltiness, the umami, very similar here with the pork rind. Of course, you're going to get that, crispy texture, and it's going to make it a little bit more fun, in my opinion. So if you can get your hands on pork rind, I'd give it a whirl. Now, in terms of the bottle, so this bottle will run you at about 25 euros, which for me is an absolute bargain, because this wine is meant to be aged for up to 10 years. And you're really going to be able to get those secondary and tertiary notes like hazelnut and almond, and getting a lot of mountain flowers as well. So sure, you can open it up whenever you want, immediately, but if you really want a wine that is able to express itself over time and see how it develops, then this is a bottle that I would consider buying, especially at that price point. And if you can, of course, visit Cantina Girlan. They are super friendly, very informative. The estate is magnificent, and they also have an amazing line of Pinot Nero that I suggest that you try, because Alto Adige is also very underrated when it comes to Pinot Nero. And that is a video that we'll be doing at some point in the near future. So in this case, again, Pinot Bianco Riserva 2021. Absolutely love it. If you like this video, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe. Let me know what wines you want me to get into next, what regions of Italy. I'm already working on Trentino, so that's going to be the next series. So we're just going to go slightly further south, because they also have some very surprising and magnificent things going on over there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. Until then, see you next time.